Good. Mother has such good points. Which is actually important. Yeah. So, over the last 4 years, I've worked with many parents, helping them get their US visa. But recently, we got a visa approval, which was extra special. My parents got their B1 B2 visa approved for 10 years in their first attempt, and they are here to share their experience. Are you ready?
Yes, very much.
So, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? What do you do?
So I am Dr. Prakash. I'm a nephrologist. In 2019, I retired from Indian Navy as an admiral. Currently, I'm working as a professor in data department in Rajarashwari Medical College, Bangalore.
Okay. And you? I'm a homemaker. All right. My mom is a homemaker, but she has gardens, she has a lot of posies, which keeps her busy. So, your interview was quite recent, about I think 1 month. It's been a month. Whoa,
2 months back. Probably.
2 months back. Do you remember the process? Where do you go? How many days was it?
Yeah, this year's visa interview was held in two stages, you can say. First time, both are held in Hyderabad. First time, we had to go in the morning and come back in the evening. The process was biometrics recording. That was in VFS Visa Application Center. So we went in the morning, did the process and came returned same day evening. And about 5 days later, we had to go again. That of course we had to go one day prior to that, stay overnight because our appointment was at 10 o'clock in the morning. But everything was smooth and it was over in about an hour. So we came back the same day.
All right. So, for biometrics, many people ask us that were you allowed to take bags because you traveled straight, right? You didn't stay anywhere. You took the flight, you went to the biometric center, and you came back to the airport. So, did you have any problem keeping your bags or your luggage?
No,
They had no, not at all. They have some arrangements for keeping our bags also.
see, you are allowed to take only visa application and appointment letter and passport inside. So whatever bag and baggage you have with you, you'll have to keep it outside. There is a private arrangement where for a fee, they keep your baggage for that duration. So it's not an issue, big issue. You can go there and do it comfortably.
Okay. And did you get enough support from the people there? If you had any questions or like where to go, what to do, because many parents feel very tensed.
Well, not actually necessary because the moment you join the lane, there is a series of people guiding you through the various stages of application process. So that is not a big issue. There are people who will guide in the languages that you are comfortable with. That's not a problem.
Okay. So biometric was quick, smooth,
Yeah, hardly 5 minutes.
hardly five. And you came back to your home and then you traveled again after
Yeah,
5 days.
about 5 days later, we had to go again. As I said earlier, one day before, stay overnight there and go at 10 o'clock in the morning. But our appointment was at 10 in the morning in the US Visa Embassy. So we stayed in a hotel nearby and went there.
Further, it is better to go early. Even if my apartment was 10 o'clock, we were there by 8 a.m. Okay. And did they let you in early?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
but
It took 1.5 hours to get cancelled. Okay. There was a long queue. You went at 8, but did they let you in at 8 or you had to wait? No, you have to stand in the queue by 8 o'clock. Okay. All right. So you let in early.
actually something like this. The appointment was at 10 o'clock. We joined the queue at around 8:30. By the time we reached the counter, it was almost 10. So generally, you are required, if the appointment is there at say particular time, say 10 o'clock, you have to go there about an hour and a half and stand in the queue. Because there's a long queue and it takes a lot of checks are done in between. So like we went at 8:30, at around 10 was our interview, which was hardly 5 minutes, and everything was done.
Before they tell you their interview experience and what exactly happened into the embassy, here's a quick sneak peek into how we actually prepared their profile and the DS 160 form. Now, in my experience of working with parents, I have seen that visa officers focus on three things. Number one is the income, number two, employment, and number three is the funding. Now, let me explain how I structured these things for my parents so that all these boxes checked off for them. Let's start with employment. So, like you heard, my father is employed, he is working, he has a salary, and he has a past employment as well. So, for him, employment was pretty much sorted. For my mother, she's a homemaker, but she has an income. She gets income from rentals, from her properties, and also from her investment. So I didn't want to miss out on showing all of these things for my mother. So rather than showing her just as a homemaker, we selected the option of not employed in her DS-160 form and indicated these sources and these income for her. Second, coming to the income. Now, when it comes to income, one mistake that I see many parents make is that they only mention their active income. That means the income from their business, from their jobs, from their salaries. But the reality is that many parents have a passive or a second or a third source of income, which could be from rentals, from agriculture, from pension. Now, I made sure to include all the income sources for my parents and mention the consolidated figure in their DS-160 form. For example, for my father, he had about 3 income sources because he was getting a salary, he had his pension from his previous government job, plus he was also getting an income from his investments. And for my mother, she had 2 income sources. She had her rental and her investments. So when we entered these figures in the DS-160 form and also the numbers that they told to the visa officer, it was a consolidated number which included all the sources. And the third aspect, the funding. Now, they were going to finance the trip themselves, but the funding had to be structured to show the best possible picture. So, when it comes to funding, again, we consolidated all their sources of funding, which means not just the bank account, but FDs, mutual funds, PF, PPF, equity, and also made sure to highlight the properties that they owned. And these things had to be taken care, I feel, right from the DS-160 form, because that's the first impression that the visa officer is going to get. And eventually, the answers and the details that are given during the interview need to match with this. So, if you're in a position right now where you're filling the DS-160 form for your parents, whether it's for the first time or whether they have a refusal, and you're wondering how best do I structure their profile and how do I maximize their visa chance, then do take care of these factors and also reach out for a detailed prep. We have special preparation packages just meant for parents. The link for this is right below in the description box. Do check it out. So, how was the interview? Was it tough, easy, very easy?
Interview was very brief, hardly lasted a few minutes. The sudden set pattern of questions are asked. We are trained by Shachi, so no big deal. We sailed through without any hiccups.
What were the questions that were asked to you?
The question was, what is my occupation and
And the purpose of visit?
purpose of visit, travel history, where all I traveled in the past 5 years, any local contact I have there, approximately gross annual income.
Okay. So, what was your purpose of visit? Because you don't have any very close relatives in the US. And yeah, what do you say?
For almost 10 years, we've been traveling to different countries each year. So now the thing is, why not US? Everybody goes to US, we should also go and see what is there. So that is the purpose why we applied for a visa. And of course, I do have my niece in California. So that is more for local guidance and assistance. But idea is to travel around and see America.
Okay. So, you showed a relative in the US. Many people feel scared to show, some relative. In your interview, did it help you that you had somebody there and could justify it?
Yeah, they asked me whether there's whether I know anybody in US. I told her I have my niece, but that is more for local guidance and contact, and I'm not going to stay with her. That was it.
And she also asked you why California particularly, right? In the interview?
No, we only told her that we are going particularly which part of the US you are planning to visit when she asked. He said California because his niece stays there.
Okay. All right.
And apparently, it's a good place to start with.
Start to
it.
Okay. All right. And what did you say about your profession? What exactly did you highlight?
She asked me, what do you do, woman? I said, I'm a doctor. I'm a nephrologist, so I treat kidney diseases, including dialysis and transplantation. And I'm working as a professor and head of the department in a medical college right now. After I left service in 2019, I served in armed forces medical service for almost about 37 years. I took premature retirement in 2019 in the rank of Rear Admiral from the Indian Navy. And I think she was okay with whatever I told her.
Okay. Main highlight was still his earning and he doesn't have any plan to stay back in US and he'll come back. That was the thing which registered them. So to get his
Yeah. So, In the interview, both of you were together, and I think you got asked most of the questions, right? Because you were answering. Did they ask you specifically anything? Like,
She said, "Do you have any children?" I said, "Yes, two daughters." "Are they accompanying you?" she asked me. I said, "No." I didn't want to drag the interview, what they will do, why they are coming with you. She may ask more questions. That's why I said no.
okay.
I think you need to prepare, number one, proper guidance, and third thing is be confident.
If they repeatedly ask same questions, you should answer same. You should not, according to the situation, you should not change your answers.
And moreover, don't tell anything apart from what you already declared in the application process.
Did you see any rejections around you?
Yeah, we saw one
One couple? Or?
one couple, I think so. Before us, they were rejected.
Okay. Why do you think they were rejected?
But you were quite enough confident.
Okay. And how are the visa officers? Are they patient? Did they give enough time? Because many people feel very scared that it's an American. Will I understand the accent?
Uh, they're okay. They are not overtly friendly. They are more business-like, and they expect answer to the point, and questions are brief. And in case you have a language barrier, there is always an interpreter standing by next to them who will make it easy for you. They don't look very strict. It's okay.
My couple going for interview, both should not talk together. Let another one to talk, then other should talk.
So I know that my father was very relaxed, and he is now, and you were more tensed for the interview,
Yeah.
right? So did you feel nervous when you were inside the embassy?
Yeah, I was little nervous, but when I started answering, it was quite easy for me.
Okay.
Because all answers, we were quite clear, our intentions and our ideas, so nothing to worry.
Okay. All right. On that note, tell me about the preparation. How much did you prepare for this interview? So, before my parents tell you how exactly they prepared for the interview, let me break down the actual strategy that we followed for them. So, their prep began with the DS 160 form. Now, in most cases, when it comes to parents' visa, it's the child who fills the DS 160 form. Same for my parents as well. I filled the DS 160 form. But it's really important that parents are aware of what's written in the DS 160 form and also they're comfortable with what is mentioned. So once the DS 160 form was filled, I sent the pages to my father. And I remember very clearly he actually took a printout of those pages, sat with a pen, and physically ticked and read each and every line in the DS 160 form. In fact, in some places, he also suggested some modifications and some changes. So this way, they were fully aware of what's written in the DS 160 form and they were very comfortable with that information. So once that was done, we submitted the form and then came preparing for the process. So this preparation, I felt we started somewhere just before biometrics. So the first step was to make them aware of the process, what's going to happen on the biometric, what's going to happen on the interview, what are the documents they needed. So they took some time to get a list of the documents, gather those documents. Some of them had to be from the bank, some of them had to be from their relative in the US, and just being again very very familiar with what actually is going to happen on those 2 days. Once the biometric was done, we actually spent time framing the answers. So we discussed, I feel, about 18 to 20 questions, which was tailored to their profile. And for all these questions, we discussed the answers, the exact sentences and the words they should be using. And one of the biggest things that I made sure to take care during this process was to help them understand that what exactly is the visa officer looking for from you? What does he want? What does he need from you to give you that visa? So that they could get the logic and understand the perspective as to why this answer is being framed this way and why am I giving all of these details. And this was especially important for my father because initially he felt that, oh, isn't this lengthy? Why am I talking so much? Why am I giving so much of information? And then I had to explain to him that, your interviews are going to be brief. Like he's told, you guys that his interview was very brief. It was just 3 to 4 questions. So you need to maximize your responses on those 3 to 4 questions. It's not about speaking a lot, but it is about giving relevant information. For example, when it comes to funding, you're not just going to say that, oh, I have funds, I have money, and I can take care of my expenses. But you need to give information that I have worked for XYZ years, so I have a net worth of XYZ, I own properties, and I'm in a comfortable place to bear these expenses. Same thing with purpose of visit. It's not just saying that, oh, we want to see US and California is beautiful, but giving them the officer proof that we travel, outside India, we like traveling, we have a relative in US who will help us with the logistics, and California we have heard a lot about, so we want to visit. So every question had information, but it was relevant and it was very, very logical. So once the answer structuring is done, then came the last part, the mocks. And with my parents, I remember I did two mocks. One was after the biometric, and this by then I think my parents were completely in the mode of preparing for the interview. Once the biometric was done, they were all focused that we need to crack this interview, we need to get this visa. So they took the mocks very, very seriously, and they were prepared. They gave the answers, they took feedback, they even corrected each other as to what to say and what not to say. And the second mock was done just one day before, rather, I think one night before the interview, which was more like a final rehearsal, final confidence booster. So all of this went into actually making their experience a breeze. So the DS-160 form, the answer structuring, and the mocks. And this is exactly what we cover in the parents core package as well. We start with the DS-160, structure the answers, and then the mocks. The link for this is right below in the description box. So if your parent is appearing for the visa interview for the first time, or in case they have any rejection and this is their second or their third attempt, I think a proper structured preparation plan is definitely going to help them. So do check out these links.
There's a long, lengthy application process. You need somebody's help to fill up the application. Secondly, you need some preparation, somebody to guide you, and you need to rehearse few times. Though due process as such is very short, but then you are anxious when you're going there whether you be given visa approved or not. So you need preparations, rehearsals, and more importantly guidance, because there is always that anxiety element is there which will make you answer sometimes incorrectly even if you know correct answer. So
Especially for filling that DS-160 form, you require help. Lot of documents, questions, so many things you have to upload. So it's better to take guidance.
Okay. And I think we did two mocks together, right? One initially and one just before your interview.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the mocks?
It was very, very helpful. You corrected so many, even though answers were same, but answering, the way of answering should be proper. So that made us, that was the difference, made us.
Okay.
yeah, actually you may be knowing the answer, but it has to come out at that particular time to the question. For that you need rehearsal, and the best way of doing rehearsal is mock interview. For maybe 1, 2, 3, depending upon how it goes. You need to take mock interviews. That would help you a lot.
Okay, great. Anything else that you want to share that you think will help the people, especially parents?
And wherein since you are going, taking US interview once in your lifetime, it's better to take guidance, go prepared.
So better that you be prepared properly, take professional help and guidance. Go confidently.
Okay. So when are you going to the US? When do you plan to travel?
Probably next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Say bye to everyone.
Bye.